One king, one queen, and two crowns that could not both be true. One was forged from Valyrian steel, set with blood-red rubies, the crown of a conqueror. The other was a humble band of gold, ringed with 7 gemstones, the crown of a peacemaker. Within days of each other, both were placed on a Targaryen head. Both wearers claimed the 7 kingdoms, and only one of them could keep their head. A crown is just metal. So how did 2 of them set the realm on fire? So what are the crowns that started the Dance of the Dragons? Welcome to Westeros Within, where we journey into forgotten ages, hidden legends, and ancient mysteries. To understand the Dance of the Dragons, you have to understand a simple truth. In the year 129 after Aegon's conquest, the war did not begin with a battle. It began with 2 coronations. When King Viserys I died in his sleep in the Red Keep, he left behind a divided house. His daughter, Princess Rhaenyra, had been named his heir for decades. But his eldest son, Aegon, was a man grown, and to the men of the Green Council, a son outweighed a daughter. Both sides reached for the same prize, not the throne of iron blades, though that mattered too. They reached for the thing that turned a claimant into a king, a circle of gold and steel, a crown. And because there were 2 claimants, there would be 2 crowns, and one war to decide which was real. Let us begin with Aegon's crown, because it was the older and the bloodier. This was no ordinary circlet. It was the crown of Aegon the Conqueror himself, the Dragon Lord who united Westeros under fire 300 years before. It was a band of Valyrian steel, dark and ancient, set with great square-cut rubies that caught the light like drops of blood. Every piece of it was a message. Valyrian steel recalled the Targaryens' Dragon Lord blood and their legendary blades. The deep red stones echoed the red of their banners and the fire of their dragons. This was not a crown for a gentle ruler. It was a crown for a man who took the realm by force and dared anyone to take it back. So when the Greens needed to make Aegon a king, they chose this above all others. They were not crowning a careful prince. They were crowning a conqueror, and they made a spectacle of it. Aegon was crowned not in some quiet sept, but before a roaring crowd at the Dragonpit, on the hill of Rhaenys. Thousands gathered. Ser Criston Cole, Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, set the Conqueror's crown upon his head and proclaimed him Aegon, the second of his name, King of the Undals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men. The small folk cheered, trumpets sounded, and to seal the moment, Aegon's sister wife Helaena was crowned beside him, and his dragon Sunfyre spread golden wings over the city. It was a coronation built to overwhelm, to make the people believe in their hearts that here was the only true king. The Greens understood something dangerous and old, that a crown seen by 1,000 eyes becomes very hard to deny. But across Blackwater Bay, another crown was about to answer. Rhaenyra had no grand crown of conquest. What she had was something quieter, and in a way, more lawful. It was the crown worn by her father, King Viserys, and before him by Jaehaerys the Conciliator, the wise old king who had ruled the realm in peace for half a century. A simple band of gold, ringed with 7 gemstones of different colors, one for each of the 7 kingdoms. But that crown sat inside the Red Keep, deep in the heart of enemy hands. To bring it to Rhaenyra, someone had to steal it. That someone was Sir Steffon Darklyn of the Kingsguard. Sworn to protect the king, he chose instead to protect the true heir. He slipped out of King's Landing and fled across the water to Dragonstone, carrying with him the crown of 2 beloved kings, smuggled past the very men who had just made Aegon their lord. On Dragonstone, the answer came. The day after she learned her father's crown had been usurped, Rhaenyra was crowned in turn. There was no roaring crowd here, no city to cheer. But there was her husband, Prince Daemon Targaryen, the rogue prince, the warrior. And he placed the crown of Jaehaerys and Viserys upon her brow. He proclaimed her Rhaenyra Targaryen, the first of her name, Queen of the Andals, the Rhoynar, and the First Men, Lady of the Seven Kingdoms. And so the realm woke to find it had two monarchs, a king crowned in Conquest's iron and rubies, a queen crowned in her father's gold, two ceremonies, two crowns, one throne, and no power on earth that could reconcile them but dragons. So here is the question worth your thoughts. Both crowns were placed on Targaryen heads, but which crown carried the truer claim? The Conqueror's Crown of Valyrian steel, seen by 1,000 cheering eyes, or the lawful crown of Jaehaerys and Viserys, smuggled out and placed on the named heir? Was Aegon a usurper in a borrowed crown, or did Rhaenyra wear a stolen one? Tell us where you stand in the comments. We follow the books, and we love the debate. And if you want more forgotten relics and the wars they began, subscribe to Westeros Within, and we will see you in the next mystery.